It doesn't matter if Venezuelans are happy. Is Sneako watching your streams? I feel like a lot of these guys do, because I think they watch the streams and the first couple of days they shit on whatever I'm saying, and then like 2 days later they just repeat what I'm saying, but in a based way. It is very strange. I have noticed that they'll start by immediately defending Donald Trump. Well, maybe not Sneako, but like a lot of these guys, they immediately fucking defend Donald Trump. And then 2 days later, they will arrive at a position where they're like, well, you know, I think that, you know, maybe it's not so based.
He's not.
He was captured?
Yes.
What's the difference?
From your point of view, I can see it that you aren't there for him because he lost the election. But once you get in power with socialism, they never leave power.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ay, 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 ay. Every single time, brother. It's like every single time.
I understand what you're saying, but as an American, like, I don't care about your elections. If he won the election or not, that doesn't matter. Trump brought troops to your country, kidnapped your president. You say it's captured, whatever. Those are synonyms.
Percentage of you, but to all the Venezuelans that you ask, they are so happy.
I know.
Because the freedom is just right there.
But my point is, it doesn't matter to Americans whether or not Venezuelans are happy.
Oh, not you are as an American. That's your point of view. But many other Americans, the quiet ones, they are happy. I grew up in the Venezuela, where Venezuela was the jewel of South America.
Is this where you realize all of Latin America is ruled by conservatives? No, what do you mean? I know, dude, I know. And also, this didn't happen overnight. This literally was it was a concerted effort by the American government to ensure that virtually anyone that had even remotely woke opinions, like anyone that was saying sharing is caring in Spanish, was getting fucking thrown off of a goddamn helicopter. Okay? I know. It's just like, and the thing is, everyone's immediate opinion is like, oh, these guys are like landowners, right? They're slavers and landowners. Like, no, they're just regular hogs, you know? There's fucking Latin American boomers that are just like hog coded too. They don't have to literally be direct descendants of slavers, chatter. First of all, it doesn't even make mathematical sense if every single Cuban was a slave owner that's living in fucking, Miami right now. No, a lot of them are just hogs. People have hog mentality. They can have hog mentality. Look around. Look at the number of people who are utterly devoid of capital. Okay? No capital whatsoever. At most, they got a busted down, hand-me-down Honda Civic from 1997. That is the only thing that's like their lifeline. Okay? No bitches. No fucking... The weed's not loud at all. They're in the chat constantly defending capitalism. Okay? So if you can understand that Americans can have this like anti-communist, anti-socialist perspective, it shouldn't surprise you that there's like Latinos who are also hogs as well. What do you mean? Hog universality, baby. Also, you are literally talking to people in America. Okay? Especially when you're talking to people who have escaped communism to come to America. Of course, they're going to fucking be super anti-communist. I briefly talked about this with Jason as well, about Vietnam. Vietnam is actually an interesting one, though, because unlike many of these other countries that were like consistently dominated, Vietnam won that battle, right? So a lot of the South Vietnamese diaspora that fled to the United States of America, they still like maintain their roots. They still have like some semblance of like national pride for Vietnam and what Vietnam has become, even though they're fucking super hogged out in America when it comes to their politics in America, and will be some of the biggest like anti-communists in general. It's just this weird dynamic. You understand? Besmirching the raw power of VTech is your worst take. Communists took their shit away. Same with Vietnam and Russia. They're pissed communists redistribute their wealth. No, that's not the case. We're so far removed from that, dude. What are you talking about? No. Like, it's okay. You need to understand something. I'm sure there's a thesis on this somewhere about like diaspora attitudes in the imperial core. Okay. Diaspora attitudes in the imperial core. I'm willing to bet many of the people that say, oh, they took my shit are lying to you. Okay. They're lying to you. Like, for example, what examples did I just give you? I gave you Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Bob Menendez as three primary examples of Cuban diaspora living in the United States of America as American citizens who are second generation Cuban. And all three of them actually came to America under Batista. Okay. And all three of them lie all the fucking time and say it was actually Fidel Castro that like stole their family's farm or some shit. They just lie. So there is genuinely this like interesting phenomena where I think a lot of people that like come to the United States of America just adopt this mentality to maybe fit in or something. They say how horrible it was for their family, and when I ask, it turns out they had a plantation before they left. Maybe they're lying, but that's what they say. Yeah, they're fucking lying. If you think genuinely that every single Cuban American is a descendant of like a plantation owner, you are fucking out of your mind. Either they're lying or they believe their lies or like the family lies that just carried over. No. I think a lot of these people are just, were there initially plantation owners who fled? Absolutely. But I think like for a lot of for a lot of people that are diaspora from countries that are like foreign adversaries of the United States of America, many of them come because they're either collaborating with the American forces, like the Afghan soldiers that come here. You know what I mean? They're like they're collaborators with with the American invasion, or they just have this same ideology to begin with. Because America's not exactly too open to working class individuals from other countries, specifically developing nations that we're destroying. You have to be like above a certain level of wealth to be able to come here with the green card lottery or whatever. You're right. Here's a paper from 2004. Empire Through Diasporic Eyes, A View from the Other Boat. What the fuck? Someone did write about it. For the record, this doesn't mean that there aren't people who have like a lot of fucking money and then they are butthurt that, communism stole their family's plantation or whatever. I'm sure there are. But you have to remember, there are just dumb fuck hogs who lie about their family background because they are temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Exactly. Just like many American dumb fuck hogs think they're temporarily embarrassed billionaires who would be uber wealthy today if only there was less regulation. I'm certain many of these Cuban descendants believe that if only Cuba had not had the revolution, they'd have been in the ruling class because they deserve it. Yeah. My family's South Vietnamese, by the way. We left for one thing and one thing only, money. We weren't able to make enough money over there, so we went to America. I'm totally leftist while my direct family is libs. Corruption was a thing over there in Vietnam until very recently. Yeah, I'm not talking about like, recent first generation or second generation Vietnamese. I'm talking about Vietnamese people who left, who like fled before Vietnam was fully liberated. Many such cases. Assembling a diaspora team, Cuban Gusanos, Hindutva Indians, Iranian monarchists, and the new edition, Venezuela Gusanos, bunch of fascist fuckheads. Yeah, this was a crazy fucking line from this lady. Some of you are going to die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make is such a villainous line that it literally is in a child's cartoon that adults can also enjoy. Of course, I'm talking about Shrek. But like, that is crazy. That's Lord Farquaad, man. It was so bad that the broadcaster literally was like, okay, enough. Like, look at
Morir
this.
mucha gente o no.
Maybe a lot of people are going to die, maybe, or maybe
O no.
not. I hope
Ojalá que
not.
no. Pero es el precio que
But it's the price you have to
hay
pay.
que pagar. Y a veces, por favor.
Muchas gracias, Fede. Vení con...
She goes, muchas gracias. We are moving on. She's like, this is not going to go the way you think it is, lady. Okay? This is going to look very bad. This is embarrassing. Also, a lot of people forget that when you do immigrate to the United States of America, they literally ask you if you're they ask if you've ever been a part of like communist organizing, if you are a communist at all. So it is illegal technically to be a communist while coming to the United States of America. So like obviously, you know, there's a little bit of a selection bias there. It's just there's a little bit of like wanting to fit in. I have a question that I know is going to sound a bit dumb, but does Maduro have a chance of being acquitted? If not, can you explain how you think this will go down and what variables are still up in the air? The real variables are about what is going to happen with governance in Venezuela and how Americans are going to be able to extract all that sweet juice, sweet cum off the ground. As far as like whichever way this trial will go, I mean, it's a fucking sham. What do you mean? It's not a real trial at all. It's fucking bullshit. It's kangaroo court. They got like a 98-year-old judge overseeing it. I don't fucking know what will happen. And quite frankly, I don't even care. I think it's bullshit.